Fine, Owen back.
Fine. Falling On yesterday, the Senate of Alabama took a vote on one of the first bills sponsored by the administration and opposed by the Alabama Power Company. On a vote of 17 to 10, the substitute bill, that is the bill supported by George Wallace's administration, overcame opposition of the Power Company and was adopted. Then on a motion to adjourn the Senate, it failed 21 to 7. And then Senator Peden began to filibuster again.
This company has grown to its present great size and influence in this 75 years. It's grown to a great complex of mills. It employs some 5,800 people who earned last year some $43 million, and they consumed some 30,000 bales of southern-grown cotton. They have mills here in Alexander City, in Dadeville, in Ashland, in Hanover, elsewhere in Coosa County, Sylacauga, and Montgomery. All of that has come in 75 years. Well, you say it was the free enterprise system at work. And it was. This couldn't have happened on any other system except the free enterprise system. And that's why we must continue to support the free enterprise system. But we must remember that the free enterprise system was available to everybody. Everybody had a right to avail themselves of the free enterprise system. But few there were who grabbed hold of the free enterprise system and put it to work.
Sir. 117. 117. Two more. Yes. Well, be still, be still. In front of me, be still. Yeah. There's 113 in there. $115.
115.
That's 130. Sir. 112.
Tell me real briefly then, what did happen this afternoon?
Well, sometime along about 3:30 this afternoon, two of the inmates, trustees, walked down to the chief jailer's quarters and took two other inmates as a hostage and got in there and got the chief jailer's wife and the three children and had those as hostages.
How was the one man killed?
One of the inmates shot him. Apparently he was a little reluctant to go from the beginning, and he just wasn't following his instructions fast as he should have.
Okay, that still leaves one more inmate that you haven't accounted for. What happened to him?
He's in jail.
So there were actually 4 people that did escape?
No, there was actually two people that escaped. However, they had two other inmates as hostage. And of course, one was killed, as you know, and the other one was permitted to return to the jail with the children.
What about the two women hostages then?
Well, they're in the hospital.
Who were they?
Of course, one was Mrs. Meeks, and the other was Mrs. Roberts.
We heard y'all talking about a possible two other suspects in the woods after you had already apprehended these two suspects, and then suddenly the search was called off. What was the deal there?
I really couldn't explain that satisfactorily because I don't know myself. It just, what little bit I do understand, that it was these two that had escaped was trying to throw the officers off, trying to elude them after they were caught.
So they were apparently cohorts of the escapees?
And no, actually, they were the one and the same. They were just using that as a ruse to try to get by the arresting officers. Because, as you know, we had officers from all the surrounding counties and the state.
What are you going to do to try to prevent something like this from happening again?
Well, my friend, I don't know at this particular point. Unfortunately, it's just one of these things. I hate it. I wish it hadn't have happened, but after all, we have to keep the place clean. They have to have some duties. The state, the counties, the taxpayers don't have enough money for us to send people in there to do all the janitorial work. Have to have some chores. These men primarily were assigned kitchen duties. However, they were permitted from time to time to come out and pick up supplies.
Okay.
Ready? Chief, could you tell us if these four people were members or the so-called organized crime ring that was planning to set up here in Montgomery?
From our intelligence information, they definitely are. Two members of the group are definitely members of organized crime out of New York and Miami. Several different agencies has expressed to us interest in them and have traveled to Montgomery here to talk with them.
Why do you think these people chose Montgomery?
I feel that Montgomery is just a new area opening up for possibly organized crime in many different fields, narcotics and other things, and also the fact, information we found at the motel indicated that they were taking over 5 counties in state of Alabama and the southern states with their operation. The notes we found indicate that they had been hassled, but the operation was going down beautiful, and they were using black and whites, mostly distributing this heroin as gifts, just to make contacts and make their product known of what they could provide street peddlers with.
Is there any information that an organized effort from New York or Miami has already been successful in Montgomery?
Not at this point. I think we got this just in time. We have several names, several different leads that will be checked out. DEA out of New York is here at this time talking with these people. They are well known to DEA people in New York and Miami. We've had them here from Mobile, Birmingham. And they, according to them, have definite ties with the mafia. Also, the rest of the members of the white female, Consalvo, evidently, information is that she is well known in the mafia family.
Out of New York
Out
or
of New
Miami?
York and Miami.
Is there a particular family she's known from, or?
At this time, I do not know. She did have quite a amount of white heroin here with her, and this is probably the biggest heroin catch made in this area.
Ever?
Ever, yes. off of one person or a group of persons.
This much has never been confiscated before in the
Not in
history
one-
of this area.
Not in one raid.
What counties were these people planning to move into?
They did not name any particular counties. They did name a city southwest of here that they had made contacts in, and we haven't been able to either confirm or deny this at this point.
How far is that town from here?
About 50 miles.
Okay. Am I leaving out anything?
Unless you want to mention the fact that they did fly into Atlanta and rented a car and drove here. I don't know what point that would bring. Yeah, you might want to strike her name. I don't know. That's up to you. She has been charged, so there's no problem in the fact that they are here today to serve warrants on her from New York.
Okay. Let's see. What are they charged with here in Montgomery?
Possession of heroin for distribution.
Have any idea how much of this heroin is out into the community?
No, I do not. The information we received that they came in here with 6 ounces. We recovered better than 3 ounces. So as to how much did get on the street or how much went down the drain, it'd be mere guesswork at this point. Some did get on the streets. Some went down the drain.
This event that occurred Wednesday, May 18th at 1:45 p.m., what does this do for your operation here? Were you aware, were the police authorities here aware that organized crime had picked Montgomery as a target for operations?
No, we wasn't aware that possibly they picked Montgomery as a target. However, we've always been cautious of the fact we know that Montgomery would be a likely spot to introduce heroin on a big scale.
Why?
Heroin and as well as other, we have tripled our narcotics workload within the past 2 or 3 years. Hasn't been all that long ago when our biggest vice problem was illegal whiskey, and drugs wasn't even a part of our work. But the last few years, drug traffic has been constantly growing. And we've been looking for the hard stuff to hit the streets of Montgomery, and it is here now. And so we're constantly aware that it probably will be getting bigger unless we're very fortunate to make this bust, and maybe it will slow some of it down.
Okay. All right. That's good enough for me. On most normal working days, Dr. Ferris Walker would be involved in some kind of dental procedure inside this office. Other dental patients would be waiting nervously in the waiting room for their turn in his chair. But Dr. Walker is not working on any patients today because he's disappeared without a trace. Walker had practiced here in Opelika since 1963. Since 1968, he'd been in this building. On May 26, 1977, in the evening, Walker came to his front desk to check his schedule for Monday morning. He said that he'd looked for a full day that Monday. The last time he had been seen was at 9 p.m. on Sunday night when he had seen his fiancée. The last time he was heard from was on Sunday night, May 29th, when he talked to a CB buddy of his. Walker lived here. Police checked the house. They say no burglary had been committed, but there were some items missing. Bed sheets, a bedspread, and pillows from the master bedroom on the second floor of his home. 6 credit cards owned by Dr. Walker were checked. The companies say that they had not been used. Auburn police say they are baffled over the strange disappearance of Dr. Walker. His friends say he appeared to be happy over his impending marriage.
Well, it could be 50-50 chance. Either he decided to leave the country or leave the state at least and just left, or possibly there's some kind of foul play. Someone could have killed him and taken him away. His car, one of his cars is missing. The blankets and sheets from the bed that he regularly slept in are gone. We found a few very tiny drops of blood on the wall in the bedroom, and that's been typed, and we believe it's his. But it could have been from a pricked finger or something else. We know he's subject to nosebleed, but we don't know if it could be that or not. So we really don't know.
Auburn police detectives and agents from the State Toxicology Department are presently inside the house of Dr. Walker, going over the bedroom with a proverbial fine-tooth comb in an effort to discover what happened and why Dr. Walker disappeared. But so far, they have not been able to answer these questions. Why was the bedclothing missing? Why were the bloodstains on the wall, on the lamp, and in the ashtray in Dr. Walker's bedroom? Investigators have followed up many leads, and they are still checking out some of the rumors. But so far, they say they don't know what happened to Dr. Ferris Walker on the night of May 29, 1977, in this house. So far, no one seems to know where Dr. Walker is. This is Norman Lumpkin, WSFA TV News, Auburn. On most normal working days, Dr. Ferris Walker would be involved in some kind of dental procedure inside this office. Other dental patients would be waiting nervously in the waiting room for their turn in his chair. But Dr. Walker is not working on any patients today because he's disappeared without a trace. The last time Dr. Walker was seen here at his office, where he'd been practicing since 1968, was Thursday evening, May 26th. His day had been filled with working on the teeth of 2 children from Tuskegee, Alabama. He had done 5 fillings that day. At approximately 4:45 p.m., Dr. Walker checked his schedule and saw that he had a full schedule for Monday, which was Memorial Day. The last time he had been seen was at 9 p.m. on Sunday night when he had seen his fiancée. The last time he was heard from was on Sunday night, May 29th, when he talked to a CB buddy of his.
Well, it could be 50-50 chance. Either he decided to leave the country or leave the state at least and just left, or possibly there's some kind of foul play. Someone could have killed him and taken him away. We've searched all the area around here for miles around. We've had help from the state and from the county and other departments, and we just don't know where to look from now on. We're still running out of some leads, you know, that we get every day. Today we're trying to contact police in Grand Cayman Islands.
Investigators have followed up many leads, including some of the rumors that have spread throughout Opelika and Auburn. But so far, they have not been able to solve the mystery of what happened to 43-year-old Dr. Ferris Walker
on the night of May 29, 1977. This is Norman Lumpkin, WSFA TV News, Auburn.
This crowd was almost afraid to come out. This time I'd like to...
With the members of the board present, I feel that certainly we'd have a fair decision, but I think also that this matter is of extreme importance to the board, to the city of Montgomery, to the residents that are represented here, and I do request a postponement until the fifth member can be here.
So,
well, if I might, I'll make this statement, Mr. Chairman, that as far as Alabama Power Company is concerned, that if the fifth member cannot be here, and I understand that'd be 2 weeks from today, or 2 weeks from yesterday, or the 20th, is that correct?
on Monday the 20th.
We'd be prepared to proceed on that date, even if the fifth member can't be here, we'd go forward on it.
Would it be possible to make an effort at this time to get the fifth member and have him here within an hour or two? Meanwhile, you can continue on with your meeting with the other agenda items. Would this be out of the ordinary to ask?
All right, let me check and see. Is there any possibility of getting Reverend Henry Steele or Thelma Morris? Excuse me just 1 minute. I regret it very much, but both the other members of the board are out of town, and Mr. Corwin is involved in the sale of the property, so he can't serve, and therefore it only leaves the four of us, and so I have no choice but to delay the action until our next regular meeting, which there would be no further delays at all.
Coming up now, an event that's always fun to watch because we see all four strokes in swimming. 50 yards of butterfly, then backstroke, then breaststroke, and then freestyle. Incidentally, in the qualifying, Bruce Furness broke the American record. 148.63 is the new mark. He'll be in lane 3. Steve Pickell, a freshman at USC, in lane 1. Scott Brown, a senior from USC, in lane 2. Furness in 3, Scott Spann, a freshman from Auburn, is in 4, Graham Smith of California in 5, and Mark Foreman of Tennessee in 6. And it's a good start. Pickell in 1, Brown in 2, Furness in 3, Spann in 4, Smith in 5, Foreman in 6. And lane 1, as you can see, is closest to the camera as they turn for the first time. Lane 4 has the lead, Scott Spann of Auburn.
Remember that the lead may change several times here, Bill, because they changed their strokes. And over there in lane number 5 is Graham Smith. He will be a very strong contender in the breaststroke leg. In the morning, he's climbing a 30.2 leg, and he should move up.
All right. It is Scott Spann of Auburn, a young freshman who is still in the lead in lane 4. And coming up very fast now in lane 3, right next to him, is Bruce Furness, who set an NCAA record in the qualification. And Furness, I believe, is going to take the lead. He's just edging ahead there as they go into the breaststroke.
As I said before, Graham Smith in lane number 5 has a strong breaststroke leg. We should see him moving up right now. Also Also, Bruce Furness is not that good in the breaststroke, and he's losing the lead to Scott.
All right, Scott Spann has regained the lead. The SEC Flash from Auburn has regained it after losing it at the touch in the backstroke. But now coming up in lane 1 and also in lane 5, we have Steve Piquel in 1 and Graham Smith in 5. He'll have 50 yards to go in the freestyle, and Spann touches first, then Furness, and now in lane 5, Graham Smith.
Furness had an awful bad turn there on his breaststroke leg, and it could cost him the event.
It's Scott Spann who is churning the water. He has 25 yards to go, and he makes the turn. Spann of Auburn looks like he's going to win this one going away. This young freshman is astounding this field. And coming up fast in lane 3 is Furness, but he'll never make it. It is Spann, Furness, and Graham Smith in that order. And the time, 1:48.26, and that is a new NCAA and American record.
That's quite an upset, Bill. That wasn't expected for Scott Spann to win that event. Bruce Furness was the predicted champion in that race, in my opinion, and it was an upset.
So there's a bright new face in swimming, Scott Spann of Auburn.
Here you go. You got it? Okay. There we go. That's good. Yeah. Just keep on walking down that way.
Well, Scott is basically a raw talent. He's been swimming hard for about 2.5 years now. He swam from his halfway through his junior year, and his senior year he swam down in Jacksonville, Florida at Episcopal High School, which has a very good program. And this past year with us, and he's been improving at such rapid leaps and bounds, there's just no way to really know how fast he can go. And he's a dedicated swimmer, hard worker, and he's got a lot of things on his side, such as size and strength.
Are you thinking about the Moscow Olympics this far in advance? Does it ever cross your mind?
I think about it occasionally, but that's 3 years away, and people come on, like lightning, and you don't really know where you'll be in that far away. But I'm definitely pointing towards that.
What goals do you have as a swimmer?
Well, I'd like to see us win the NCAA championship as the next goal on my mind. Plus, I'd like to be able to possibly win all 5 events at NCAAs within a year or two, including the relays. And in the same year, I'd like to see us win and maybe start a dynasty.
You'd like that, huh?
Yes, sir.